Unlocked. And it's not just with Key and BB today. It's with all the boys. We got our man Maxi Stats with us today. And I think we might have a mortal lock. We don't know. We're going to find out here in this episode here today. Welcome to a wonderful Wednesday. It is hump day in beautiful Carolinas. And we are we're feeling a little bit jazzy today. We're feeling a little bit skippy today. Things are going well. It's a happy middle of the week. And we are more than excited to bring some exciting stuff to the docket today. We're going to talk a little bit about the college football playoff selection committee has a new top 25. Some teams slid on down, some teams slid on up. We're going to get into that today. We're going to talk about some of our favorite players in the league. And would you rather this guy or would you rather that guy? We're bringing that back to the show again today. And we are also going to try out a new segment, a blind rankings of the numbers of a player in the NFL. I cannot drop that number just yet. We're going to get into that as well later in the episode. And today is this it's a stacked docket. How we feeling today, BB?
Fired up. You said it's a beautiful Wednesday. I mean, is it ice cold there too?
I mean, it's sunny. There's a little bit of crisp going on, but it's pretty solid.
I feel like today's the coldest day of the year by far down in Old Travelers Rest. But we're feeling good. We got a good schedule for the episode. We're fired up.
Here we go. Maxie, you got to jump into North Italia today, get some meatballs and a chicken parmesan sandwich. How we feeling today, Matt?
Oh, we're feeling locked and loaded, Eat good. So we're ready for a good episode today.
Let's go.
Yep, drop a nice deuce in the toilet afterwards, and now you're feeling great. You're feeling great. Speaking of food, I had Chick-fil-A this morning, and I thought Chick-fil-A fell off a little bit. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, you start getting some baby sandwiches, you're definitely still starving after the meal. But today I had some chicken minis from Chick-fil-A. They didn't fall off. They didn't fall off for 1 second. And I was thinking, like, should Chick-fil-A actually consider having an entire sandwich during the lunch and the dinner period with that chicken mini bread? That would bring Chick-fil-A all the way back, I feel like.
You want to talk about being starving? Did you just get a 4-count mini?
No, I got a biscuit too. Okay,
I was about to say, if you just have a 4-count mini, you're literally begging for more food.
4-count mini is a literal snack. You got to get that spicy. What is it? The spicy chicken burrito.
Spicy chicken burrito. But
I never had that.
I informed Max on that little glitch. If you get the spicy chicken burrito rather than the regular chicken, like if you order the regular chicken burrito, apparently they just have like a big bucket of pre-cut chicken in the back. They dump a couple pieces, but if you order the spicy chicken, they have to pull out a whole new spicy fillet and chop it up and put it in the burrito for you. So a little hack there. But to answer your original question, I would get it.
Yeah.
A huge chicken mini, that might be their best seller.
That would be a top seller at Chick-fil-A. They absolutely need to make a chicken mini bread sandwich. It would be actually like with spicy chicken, sweet and spicy. Oh my gosh, that would be elite. But is this burrito? Is this like another one of BB's menu hacks? Like, I've never seen that on the menu.
Nah, I mean it's on the menu. You just gotta ask for spicy.
Spicy, and you have
it's kind of hidden though, because it's like the hash brown scramble burrito.
It's good. It comes with spicy chicken, hash browns, eggs, cheese. You gotta get the creamy salsa on the side. It's a full menu hack for you.
Creamy salsa, that doesn't exist.
I don't know about the creamy salsa.
One day we're gonna have to get menu hacks. That's gonna have to become a segment.
Top five menu hacks.
Top 5 menu hacks, and BB will have just about everything for you.
I might craft that up for you guys. A top 5 blind ranking menu hack.
Oh God.
Hey, I would participate, and then I'd go eat some food midstream. I mean, I don't really, because I'm not kidding. The Cane's menu hack. What is it? Double toasted cane.
No slaw.
What is it?
No slaw extra toast. No slaw extra toasted on both sides.
Oh.
You need about 3 extra sauces too.
Yeah.
Get it served by Bryce Young, doesn't he? I got a double cognac. I got a double cognac. It's like, you can't make that and then get benched. Everybody's gonna be saying that you should be serving cognacs. What is a cognac? Anyways, man, we're talking about football today. We're not talking about food. We're getting you all excited in here. And the College Football Playoff Committee officially listed their top 12 teams in the game. And this is what that bracket looks like as of right now. Oregon, obviously, at number 1. Texas moves up to now number 2. Miami and BYU are the 2 teams that have bye weeks as well, considering that they would be the leaders in their conference. And after that, it gets shiesty. It gets real shiesty. Boise State has to go to Columbus and play in the shoe. As of today, Notre Dame goes into Tennessee, and that place would be jumping for a game like that. Alabama has to go into Indiana, where I think they would get a nice win there. Ole Miss goes to Penn State, and I was telling BB this pre-show, if I'm Ole Miss, I'm ready to just kind of call it quits on the rankings. Let's just go ahead and play, because if you go to Penn State, you get a win there, you're kind of already into the semifinals. Like, you're beating BYU. How do y'all feel about the college football playoff rankings as of week 2?
I kind of like that. I agree with you there. If I'm Ole Miss, I'm kind of licking my chops seeing this graphic, because I forget what bowl game it was, but last year Ole Miss and Penn State played in their bowl game. And if I remember, I know Ole Miss won, but if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure they won pretty handily. And I know bowl games are a little weird, like people opt out and stuff, but I mean, it's a lot of the same team for Penn State, so I would imagine a lot of those guys were still playing in the game, and Ole Miss won. So if I'm Ole Miss, I'm saying let's stop right now, let's play ball.
Yeah. 100%. And I think another team that's just ready to play is the Ohio State Buckeyes. I mean, you got Boise State at home, and then you go into Miami. Max, how do you feel about Ohio State's potential road to the national championship?
I mean, if you're looking at that left side of the bracket, I think we're going to see that rematch of Oregon, Ohio State. I think Notre Dame and Tennessee are definitely 2 of the weaker teams in this. I think Oregon will be able to handle whichever one comes out of that game pretty easily. And then, sorry, Ashton Jeanty, but your dream run's coming to an end. And then you're going up against the ACC fraud champs, Miami or Clemson, whoever it is. I think Ohio State will win that game by 30 plus. And then we see that rematch of Oregon and Ohio State.
Yeah, that would be pretty electric. And speaking of, I feel like at some point here pretty soon, this is the first year of the 12 team. That's okay. But I do think that something's going to have to change in terms of who gets that bye, because Miami and BYU, let's be honest, they do not deserve bye weeks with other teams right behind them that are clearly showing a lot better in terms of a resume, in terms of wins, in terms of the competition that they have played. Ohio State is now currently ranked number 5, and they have a loss to number 1, Oregon, which is by 1 point, and they could have easily won that game. You have a team like Alabama, who has played multiple top 25 teams and won in multiple of those games. They just walked into LSU and mollywop the Tigers. And then you have other teams that they're just more battle tested, and they've been through more, and they've had bigger wins, and now they have to fight for a spot into the quarterfinal, into the semifinal, while a team like Miami, who just lost to Georgia Tech, gets a bye week. That just doesn't add up. I feel like there's got to be another way to do this.
But I feel like you have to have some kind of significance on your conference's championship, right? Like, if we take away that, then what's the point of trying to win that if it's not an advantage in any way?
Yeah, but I mean, that makes sense. But I feel like if it's something where you get an automatic bid into the playoff, that is worth winning, because I mean, if you really think about it, like Miami with a loss in the ACC, it's almost like, do you deserve to be in the playoff at all? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you go on to win the ACC, now you have an automatic bid.
Well, yeah, I mean, then you got a team like Georgia, who I think is ranked 13th as the first team out, and it's like, come on, you're going to tell me that Georgia's not one of the 12 best teams in the country. I mean, but that's kind of how all the playoffs, any playoff system is going to work. There's always going to be a couple teams that are, pissed off that they're left out or whatever. But I mean, I agree. I mean, the SEC is by far the best football conference. And I mean, it's kind of punishing teams like Georgia for having such a hard schedule during the year. So
literally Georgia, I don't know they have to have the hardest schedule, like literally
they're one,
in terms of strength of schedule. And it's like, now, okay, you're playing teams that are in the playoff every single week. You can lose any week. And let's say you lose 2 weeks and now you're not in, but a team who has beaten any ACC team is in. It's like, that doesn't make sense. That's why we have this 12-team playoff. And speaking of that, like you said, Max, Georgia is ranked 12th right now, but they're out. You have a team like South Carolina, who has a big win as well. They're 6-3, and they're technically out. But I would argue that South Carolina is better than Miami too. I would argue that South Carolina would beat BYU as well. And you have teams who are fighting for those last couple of spots to get in. And South Carolina has a road. They have a road to make it to the playoff. I think if they beat Clemson, if they beat Louisville here late in the season, do y'all think that South Carolina, or not Louisville, if they beat Missouri, who's ranked 23, Clemson ranked 20, is there a way for a team like South Carolina with 3 losses to slide their way into the playoff, or is with the 3 losses early in the season, is that enough to do it for them?
I don't think any 3-loss teams are getting in. But South Carolina, man, I think they are a good enough team to be in. The one of their 3 losses was to LSU, and if y'all remember, like, that was a huge controversy on Twitter. Was just like the refs straight up stole that game because late in the game, South Carolina had a pick 6, and it was maybe one of the weakest block in the back calls I've ever seen. And they brought it back, and then LSU ended up scoring. LSU ended up winning. But South Carolina would have had the game in their hands at that point, and they also had a backup QB in that game. Their starter got hurt for the last 3 quarters of the game, but he obviously came back the next couple of games. But I think South Carolina got shafted in that game, and like you said, actually, like you asked, I don't think they're making it with 3 losses, but I think if they win that LSU game, then they're a team we're talking about that's right there on the bubble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that. And kind of going back to the whole 12 team, like who deserves it more and who's actually the best teams. Like, you take a team like South Carolina or, Texas A&M or Georgia, who's not in the playoff right now, and you match them up against some of the weaker teams like Miami, BYU, Indiana. Like, I think the spreads on those games would be in favor of the SEC teams by at least 10 points. So it's like, I guess it's going to be interesting to see how if they adjust it at all, make any changes, because I mean, as it stands right now, it's definitely not the best 12 teams that are going to be in the college football playoff. So
exactly. And I think the whole point of doing this playoff and the whole point of changing it to 12 teams is so that you get the 12 best teams. And like you said, Max, somebody's always going to be, on the bubble. Somebody's always going to be, not in the playoff. But this is a terrific year to explain, like, there are 12 really good football teams. This is not a year where it's top heavy. There are 12 teams that are good. And I don't think the 12 best teams are going to make it. But the whole point of doing something like this is so that the 12 best teams are playing football into January and have or late December into January and have the opportunity to get that national championship. So I think that, I do think a team like Texas A&M, we talked about them pre-show. Colorado could potentially make their way in, but they have the star-studded teams. But it's like, let's get the 12 best teams. I don't want the teams that get the honorary way in because they won their conference. It's like, let's get the 12 best teams playing football. That's what everybody's signing up for, and that's what will have your ratings through the roof. So I do think that there is a way to get the 12 best teams, but I don't know if this is the exact way to do that. But that is it's exciting. It's still very exciting. And Max, you said the SEC is the best conference. I agree. But the Big Ten's coming. If you see right here, there are 4 teams in the top 5 from the Big Ten right now: Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana. And I think that it's this is the very first time in college football playoff ranking era that there have been 4 teams from one conference ranked in the top 5. And Big Ten football is coming around, and it's coming in strong. And that's without Michigan, who was in the national championship last year. That's also without Washington, who is now a Big Ten team that was in the national championship last year as well. And Big Ten football it's making a run for it. I think Big Ten football is good.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely becoming a 2-conference powerhouse in college football. I mean SEC and Big Ten, but I mean I'll kind of go back to that point. I mean, like that with the SEC, it's I don't know. I feel like from top to bottom, it's just overall much better than top to bottom in the Big Ten. Because I mean, you got a team like Vandy who's been notoriously horrendous in the past, I don't even know how many years, and then they're beating teams like Alabama, and it's just like you're seeing these upsets. I feel like every year that I don't know. I just feel like you go like Purdue and like Ohio State. Like Purdue's never going to beat Ohio State. So it's just cool to see some of these bottom teams, the SEC, now starting to compete with some of the big dogs.
100%. SEC is definitely big, strong football. Big Ten is that conference looking like as well. They're on their way around. You're going to see some good Michigan teams, some good Washington teams. Hopefully UCLA can get their thing rolling as well. The Big 12 is a conference that they need to kind of get it together, but they do have some top dogs as well with BYU, who's currently in, and Colorado has an opportunity to make it in with Shedeur Sanders as well as with Travis Hunter. Those are 2 potential top 5 picks. And speaking of Shedeur Sanders and being a top 5 pick, he is currently, it's looking like he's going to go pretty early in the draft. And the team that's drafting early in the draft as of today is the Dallas Cowboys. Should the Dallas Cowboys potentially tank to get a guy like Shedeur Sanders? I know you just paid Dak Prescott. I get that, but you can trade Dak Prescott to a team who's QB hungry and is not going to be drafting that early, or is not maybe not in a position to where they want to draft a quarterback that early. They can go get a guy like Dak Prescott, who is, he's got a solid resume under his belt. And now you're looking at a potential Deion Sanders as the coach, Shedeur Sanders as your quarterback in Dallas. BB, do you think the Dallas Cowboys should potentially tank to get Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders as their head coach?
I mean, wow, that's we mentioned earlier, I love Deion Sanders and I love him as a college football coach. I just don't know how well he would work in the NFL with his coaching style with grown men that also have millions and millions of dollars. It would be cool to see. I agree. And if you were to go to the Cowboys, you want to talk about ratings through the roof. That place would explode. But yeah. I can't really see Deion as an NFL coach. I think once Mac Brown retires, he needs to take himself to Chapel Hill and get the Jumpman gear dripping. That would be fire. But in terms of Shedeur going to Michael Jordan's got bread. He can sling some cash Deion's way. But Shedeur to the Cowboys, I'm trying to think of a fit for Dak. The first team that came to mind would be the Browns if they somehow find a way to get rid of Deshaun. With Dak going to the Browns, but I'm trying to think of other teams that would. And would the Cowboys really get rid of Dak? They obviously just showed that they love him so much. They gave him $250 million. I think they like what they have in him. So I don't know if I could see Shedeur or Deion going to Dallas.
Yeah, but you think about Jerry Jones, and you think about he can tell he just wants to win football games, and he wants to get paid a lot of money doing so. And you get Shador, you get Dion, like you said, ratings are through the roof. I'm talking every game is packed out. I do think like I get what you're saying with Deion Sanders, but Deion Sanders is also very well respected in all of football land. You know what I mean? And I don't think that I think Dion is also smart enough to not come in and say, "Oh, y'all are getting cut." He wouldn't say anything like that to an NFL team. I think that he would approach things differently. And people, honestly, Trayvon Diggs would respect him. Micah Parsons would respect the Deion Sanders. They would want to hear what sort of things he has to say as a professional and as a football player. And I think that Deion Sanders would do great things for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that if he were to end up being the head coach in a place like Dallas, things would be looking up. It would be good for football if he were the head coach. And I think with Dak Prescott, like you heard what Jerry Jones had to say, and it's like we weren't playing good football with Dak Prescott. He said we weren't playing good football. I was honestly hoping that we would look a little bit better without Dak Prescott this week. You know what I mean? So it's like Jerry Jones is the kind of guy if he could get some trade compensation and he could get things looking up in Dallas again, he just might make that move. Max, how do you feel about Dak Prescott getting traded, Shador Sanders moving in as the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I mean, I think the graphic that you had popped up is should the Cowboys tank for Shador? I don't think they're going to have to do any tanking. I think they're really that bad. I mean, you saw what Cooper Rush did last week. That was a complete dumpster fire. I guess they're going to try Trey Lance now, who threw 5 interceptions in a preseason game in a single half. I mean, things aren't looking good in Dallas. I think they're locked into having a top 10, maybe even a top 5 pick. I mean, they still got to play the Eagles and the Commanders. I think they play the Bucks. I mean, they have a tough schedule to end the year. Yeah, okay. They have a tough schedule to end the year. But Shador to the Cowboys, I don't know. Obviously, they would have to do something with Dak. And, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that would be like, who wants to take on that contract if you're a team? Because, I mean, Dak's getting up there in age. He hasn't proven he can win big games. So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. And along with things with Dion, I don't think that Dion would work in the NFL. I think someone actually asked him that question if he was someone like mentioned to him about like coaching in Dallas, and he said, "Nah, I'm fine where I'm at," or like I like where I'm at, or something along those lines. But
if it's a reporter, that has to be your response because like what you can't. It's the same way with Jim Harbaugh. Like sometimes he would mention going to the NFL, but it would always ended up I'm here in Michigan right now, and now he's the coach for the LA Chargers. I feel like you kind of have to say I'm good where I'm at, especially when your team is competing for a playoff. You start to buy out on your team, it's like the team's going to buy out on you. Now it's like this season is a bust, and I like I said, I get what y'all mean with Dion, but he is the kind of guy that I think would be heavily respected by his players. And I don't think that he would be a disrespectful coach to his players either. I could see Deion Sanders being the head coach in Dallas. We'll see what happens. And I also could see Shador Sanders being the next quarterback. You want to, like he talked about, his boys are only going to be playing in certain places. Dallas is one of those places where he would allow his boy to go play football and be the quarterback in Dallas. And it's one of the best places for him early in the draft too.
I agree. I think he would. I saw another video today. It was like a more recent video. They were asking him about like if he's going to step in as the father figure and not let his boys go play somewhere else. And he was like, I'm going to do it for Travis too. But like, I think definitely he would let him go play in Dallas. But I just lost what I was going to say.
Well, I'll say something while you're
hold on.
trying to think of what you're trying to say. I mean, Key, do you think it's going to be something where if Dion does decide to coach in the NFL, do you think it's going to it has to be for the team that Shador is the quarterback of? because a better fit, I think, would be the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, he played there. He's a legend there. The Falcons got a swag. And I just think Jerry Jones has maybe too big of an ego to get someone with an even bigger ego as the head coach. So
I mean, it would be nice if he were the coach in Atlanta, but Atlanta just drafted Michael Penix. Atlanta has Kirk Cousins, so and they're not going to be drafting early enough to get a Shedeur Sanders. So, and Dallas is the spot where he is like. They're going to be drafting top 5. Like you just said, they're going to be drafting top 5. It's a big market team. I could see Jerry Jones. There's few people that he would kind of step back and let do their thing. Deion Sanders has to be one of those people on that list. And I could see Jerry Jones letting Deion Sanders run the team. And I don't think that there would be a bunch of headbutting. Like, I feel like there's mutual respect that would happen there. And honestly, like you said, Deion's ego is backed up with a lot of success at multiple places. And while he was a player at Jackson State, here at Colorado, he's turned that franchise all the way around. You sit down next to Jerry Jones, you're like, this is my resume, and this is how we're going to do it. And Shedeur Sanders is going to be the quarterback to let us do that. What you got, JB?
But I remember what I was going to say. But like, I feel like in college, you can have coaches like Deion, somebody that's like a recruiter, a hype man, and like lets his coordinators do the offense and his other coordinator do the defense. In the NFL, I feel like head coaches, they aren't really like that. Like, your head coach either calls plays on offense or he calls plays on defense. Like, I feel like he's more involved in the football. And I'm not saying that Deion can't do that or wouldn't do that, but I don't think he does that at Colorado. And I think he just lets I feel like he's just more of like a leader of men. Like, he's just like the hype man, the motivator, the recruiter, talks to boosters. Like, I feel like that's what more of the college football game head coach is about, rather than the NFL head coach is more like X's and O's. And that's just how I look at it.
Yeah, but do you how many fan bases want their coach to give play calling to somebody else so that they can be more of a leader of men, more of a manager of the game, more of somebody who's a face of the program and have really good X and O guys calling the plays? And Deion Sanders is the kind of guy he can recruit. Like, let's say next season, somebody like T. Higgins is in free agency. He's going to want to go play for Dallas Cowboys and Deion Sanders. You know what I mean? So, like, in terms of recruiting there, it's like there is some form of recruiting with free agency in the NFL. Like, we have to pay people here in Charlotte extra to come play here in the free agency because nobody wants to come and play in Carolina. But if Deion Sanders is the coach in Dallas, you're going to be people kind of flooding the gates trying to go play for Deion in Colorado or in Dallas. And it's like, okay, he's the coach. Now you have, heck, even ex-NFL football players that want to come back and coach with Deion in the NFL. He can get just about whoever he wants to be the coach in the NFL. And it's like Deion could do just about whatever he wants, bro. Like, he literally can. And I think if he were to do that on the biggest stage, it would be pretty sweet, and it would be good for football if Deion Sanders were a head coach at a big market team like Dallas. Let's see what the comments got for us here. Caden Jones says players coach. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he is a great players coach, and I think the older men get, like, he doesn't have to deal with the freshman guy who is sleeping through meetings and stuff. Like, he's going to have the attention of the locker room. Dallas Cowboys, make that call. Make that call. And speaking of Shedeur Sanders and being a potential top 5 pick in the NFL, I have a would you rather, and it is the Shedeur Sanders edition. And we're going to get right on into it. And we're going to go BB first, Max second on every single one of these. And first, Shedeur Sanders. Would you rather Shedeur Sanders or Bryce Young?
I got to ride with my Carolina boy. Give me Bryce Young.
Shedeur. Got to. We've already kind of seen what Bryce is not fully capable of, but we've seen what he can do. Shedeur.
Okay. Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward?
Shador Sanders, I've said it before, not a big fan of Cam.
Cam Ward. Give me Cam Ward. He is my favorite quarterback in this year's draft. I think he just has that sexy aura boost that is gonna win games. I mean, he's doing great things at Miami. Miami's defense is really, really bad. Yeah, give me Cam Ward.
Shador doesn't have an unlimited aura boost.
He does.
I mean, that guy is the definition of aura.
It's right here. Took over the world.
Okay.
Shador Sanders or Bo Nix in Denver?
Shador. Yeah, I'm Shador all day. I don't think Bo Nix is that guy.
Shador. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Indianapolis, would you take Shador Sanders or Anthony Richardson?
I think I would take my chances with Shador. Richardson got benched for Joe Flacco, so.
Yeah, I'm a BB on this one. Give me Shador. I think the Anthony Richardson project is getting a little old. I mean, he's never really had great stats anywhere. So like when is it time to give up? When is it time to give up on that project? So
if we were a top 5 pick for the Colts, you would trade away Anthony Richardson, draft Shador Sanders?
I mean, there's a lot. It's tough to say.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't do that, but
you would.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would.
Shador Sanders or Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville?
Taking my chances with Shador. I've said it. Trevor Lawrence seems to be getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Give me Shador.
Shador Sanders or Derek Carr in New Orleans?
Shador Sanders. Derek Carr stinks.
I literally don't think I could think of a more mid player than Derek Carr. So give me Shador.
Okay, and obviously we're taking Shador over Daniel Jones in New York, but Shador Sanders or a fleeting Aaron Rodgers in New York?
See, like, if this is 3 years ago.
It's today, BB. It's today.
Today, I'm taking Shador over Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely taking Shador. Aaron Rodgers has Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. Still can't win ball games. So
he might have Aaron Rodgers
look like y'all already have Shador as a top 15 quarterback in the league. Shador Sanders or Dak Prescott?
I'll go with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I'll go with Dak. I mean, Dak, don't get me wrong. He can't win the big games, but he's still a good quarterback. So give me Dak.
Shador Sanders. What'd you say, Max?
No, you're good. You're good.
Shador Sanders or Brock Purdy?
I know the comments aren't going to like this one.
I'm trying to think, could Shador do what Brock does in San Fran? And why could he not? Give me Shador Sanders.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Brock Purdy is the biggest system quarterback in NFL history. So give me Shador.
Ooh, okay. So, I mean, literally, y'all have I hope y'all know this means y'all have Shador Sanders as a top 15 quarterback in the world, like right now.
I think you're missing someone.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't even going to. All right, BB, I'm not even going to. Like Shador Sanders or Jaden Daniels?
I'll take Jaden Daniels. He's proven he can do it already. But my reasoning for the other guys is they've had ample opportunity in. I'm not saying Shador will, but I'll take my chances with him being greater than that potential that they've shown.
I like that. And that's the thing about if you go and get Shador Sanders, yeah, you get rid of a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, which is interesting, but you're restarting your quarterback clock. You know what I mean? You now have a rookie quarterback and you have the opportunity to build around that rookie quarterback. And I think, especially in Jacksonville, it just seems like they need a fresh start, like all the way around. They need a complete rebuild. It's looking ugly in Jacksonville. But considering y'all have him so high, I'm going to mix in another one for you guys. Shador Sanders or CJ Stroud in Houston, who's struggling this year.
CJ Stroud. I think CJ showed he won Rookie of the Year his rookie year. It's only year 2. I've seen him throw some of the prettiest balls I've ever seen. He's got a playoff win under his belt already. I'm taking the CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I'll go with Stroud as well. Although he's been very, very underwhelming this year. But yeah, like BB said, he does have a playoff win under his belt, offensive rookie of the year. So
yeah, he does.
I'll take
he has
Stroud.
the accolade. Caden Jones is quite flabbergasted by Shador Sanders over T-Law. Like,
I mean, I guess you could say the same. I mean, T-Law does have a playoff win as well, but it's like the Jags. I just feel like they're just bad. Like they're just bad. And T-Law, I mean, he's had weapons on his team. It's not been like a lack of weapons or anything like that. And he just continues to underperform every single year.
Yeah.
Like T-Law had just as bad of a, if you go look at it, he had just as bad of a rookie year as Bryce Young. And yeah, the second year, I'm pretty sure they went to the playoffs with in Doug Peterson's first year in Jacksonville, and they got a playoff win. But my earlier take, since that moment, every season it seems Trevor Lawrence has regressed and became a worse quarterback. And if you remember, I think Tiger mentioned it when he was on the show, or maybe me and Tiger were just talking on FaceTime or something. But me and Zach had this conversation that, like, since Trevor Lawrence entered the league, like there was some report that he's grown, like he's gotten even taller, and so it's messed with his mechanics, and that could be why we've seen regressions.
That is weird. But my thing with Trevor Lawrence is I would take Shador Sanders over Trevor Lawrence as well, and specifically because his team struggles, but it's not like Trevor Lawrence is necessarily willing his team and it's like somehow somebody else ruins the game. Like he hasn't necessarily been the guy where it's like, wow, it's T-Law who's just levels above the rest of his team. Like T-Law's down here too. Like you think about the Eagles game, they should have won that game. And Trevor Lawrence at the end of the game throws what was just, if you're the number 1 overall pick, we just paid you a lot of money. Like he threw, that was a bad ball. And it got picked off. It was a bad ball. And they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. And they should have another win under their belt. And you look at his stat lines and consistently, it's kind of like 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 180 yards. It's kind of like, well, we're throwing they throw the ball a lot. And it's like, what's up? You know what I mean? So I think if you give Shador Sanders that same opportunity, I feel like he's the kind of guy who loves the big moment. I think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. And I think that Trevor Lawrence, I'm taking Shador. And I think BB has a would you rather for us here today as well.
I most certainly do. And this is the guy we've been talking about already in this episode. It's another quarterback as well for America's team. We got a would you rather Dak Prescott edition. You ready?
Good to go.
Let's go. Let's do we'll go Key first and Max. Okay. Dak Prescott or Anthony Richardson?
Dak Prescott.
Dak.
Dak Prescott or Tua?
I mean, if Tua didn't have so many concussions, I would definitely go Tua, but I'll go Dak.
I'm going Tua. The way the Dolphins offense looks without Tua compared to with Tua, it's 2 completely different teams. So just for that reason alone, give me Tua.
Yeah, but where's Tua's where's his big wins? You know what I mean? Like, sure, he's got Tyreek Hill out there, he's got Jalen Waddle, but Dak Prescott is the better quarterback. Like, where's Tua's big wins, Max? What do you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, neither of them have big wins. So, but I'm just saying, I would rather have Tua. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Dak Prescott or Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson?
I mean, Russell Wilson.
Give me Dak.
See, that was an interesting one for me too.
I go Russell Wilson just because he has that Super Bowl and he's making throws that's winning him football games, like specifically versus the Commanders. Dak Prescott, it seems like he throws a pick when they need a big play from him. So
you think you'd have said the same thing if I asked you that last year?
No,
you would have said Russ?
Yeah, I would have said Dak all day.
Okay. Dak Prescott or Jordan Love?
Jordan Love.
J Love all day.
Okay. Dak Prescott or Jared Goff?
Dude, these are hard, bro. These are hard. Dak Prescott.
We just saw Jared Goff throw 5 interceptions.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I'm still gonna go Goff. I mean, he still won the game. I mean,
he did.
Goff just wins games. He might be a game manager, but I mean, he's pretty good at it. So,
all right, these next couple, just imagine Dak playing for these teams. Like, which would you rather have? Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk O'Chains, baby.
Okay. Dak Prescott or Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield. Baker has been dealing.
Baker.
Baker looks
Give
nice.
me Baker.
Yeah, I agree.
And I saw something too. As Gronk was talking about it. I think he was talking with Julian Edelman, but he was like, "Dude, Baker is just the ultimate teammate. Like he is just amazing." So I mean, he's playing very good football this year. So
absolutely, that is top two.
Baker. Yep.
Baker Mayfield or Justin Herbert. Wow, that was really bad. Dak Prescott or Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert. I gotta go.
Herbert.
Dak Prescott or Kyler Murray?
No doubt, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's literally he's in MVP conversation. I hope you guys understand that. He's a top 5, maybe top 3 quarterback in the league today.
I'll go Dak Prescott.
Hell,
No.
Max, come on.
Nah, I'm going Kyler. He's
Okay,
not. He's definitely not top 3 though. But okay, yeah, keep going.
Last one. After this, we can assume that all the other quarterbacks, I think we would hands down take over Dak. We got Dak Prescott or Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. I'll take Jaden Daniels.
You see it? Come on, Jaden Daniels. All day.
I like that. I like that. I feel like there was definitely some some juicy ones in there. I wasn't sure who y'all pick between Tua, J Love, Russ, Jared Goff, Cousins.
Yeah, those are definitely some good ones. Prescott just throws so many he throws so many interceptions, and it's like when you need them the most, it's unacceptable. But
yep.
Going on from that, I have we're gonna go ahead and just drop the blind rankings.
Let's go.
Of players. Okay, I got to start over for the clip.
Yeah, we're
blind rankings for players that wear number 1, and it is a top 10 list, and it's a juicy list. I'm not kidding. Players that wear number 1, starting with Jalen Hurts.
This is college and NFL, correct?
It's they're sports players.
They're sports players.
They play sports.
They're just,
Oh,
is it all football?
It's not all football.
Is it all?
Oh,
So just
whoa.
blind ranking. All right, here. Can you start the segment over again?
All right. Blind rankings for players that wear the number 1. Starting with Jalen Hurts.
I'll go with 5. I feel like that's a pretty good midpoint.
Yeah, I was thinking he's right around midpoint, but I think it's going to be the lesser because I'm kind of low on Hurts. I'm going to go 6.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Got Hurts at 5. I'm gonna go Tua at 7.
I'm going Tua at 8.
Sauce Gardner.
I'll go Sauce at 4.
Yeah, I'll also go Sauce at 4.
Okay. Jamar Chase.
Here we go.
Number 1. I'll go Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase at.
This is so hard, dude.
I'm kind of, dude, like it's hard to beat Jamar. I'll go Jamar Chase at 2. I feel like you got a sleeper in there for us.
I'm going Jamar Chase at 2 as well. I just feel like there's someone we're forgetting about that's gonna top Jamar.
Stephon Diggs.
Can you remind me what? No, I guess you probably wouldn't know either. I'm trying to think of what I got so far.
You've got Sauce at 4. You have Jalen Hurts at 5. You have Tua at 6, right?
7.
7.
Tua
You got him
at
at 7. And then Jamar at 2.
Jamar at 2.
And who is this one again?
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs at 6.
I've got Stephon Diggs at 7. Sandwiched between Hurts and Tua.
Yep.
Josh Downs.
Josh Downs at 8.
Josh Downs for me is at God. Is that going to be the worst one?
Yeah, I wish I could.
I'm going 10. I'm going 10 for Josh Downs.
Okay.
What if he's got a pooper in there?
Malik
He might.
Neighbors.
Okay.
Go one more time. Go one more time. Max talking.
Malik Neighbors.
So I have 1 open, 3 open,
You got 9 and 10 open.
1, 3, and 10, or 1, 3, 9, and 10.
Yep.
Oh, Josh
You already
Downs
messed up.
screwed me. Yeah, Malik Neighbors at 3.
I'm going Malik Neighbors at the 5 spot.
I like that, Max. Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray's my 1, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
So I have Sauce at 4.
I've
Yeah, I
royal.
like Kyler Murray at 3. I like it. I like Kyler at 3.
Deebo Samuel.
I'll put Debo at 10.
I'm going Deebo at 9. This list might be perfect if I get a banger. Come on, give me a banger here.
This player does not play in the NFL.
Oh my God.
Number 10 on the list. The last person is Prime Derrick Rose.
Oh yeah, I got a perfect list. That's a perfect list.
What is my 1 spot open?
No, you put
9 and 9 or
you got
10 or
9.
something.
Yeah. it's
Prime Derrick Rose at 9. My list is screwed.
Yeah, I got him at 1. That's a perfect list. Oh man, I did it.
I
did it.
Matt cooked up the perfect list.
It might be
No,
back
I think I did. I think I did.
All right, so
Oh man,
Max had Derrick Rose at 1, Debo at 9, Kyler at 3, Neighbors at 5, Josh Downs at 10, Stephon Diggs was Max. You remember?
he was.
I think he was 6.
No, 6. No, I had Hurt 6. I had Diggs 7.
Diggs 7. Yeah, Max. Jamar was your number 2 or number 1?
2.
Number 2.
2.
Sauce was number 4. Tua was number 8.
Yep.
And Hurts was number 7, I think. And
No, Hurts was 6. Yeah,
Hurts
that's
was
a great list.
BB had
That's a great
Hurts at
list.
5, Tua at 6, Sauce at 7, Jamar at 2. Not bad, BB. Stephon Diggs was your you had him low, right?
I had Hurts at 5. I had 2 at 7, Sauce at 4. What's the next?
Jamar
at 2,
Stephon Diggs,
6.
Josh Downs,
I put him at 8.
8.
Malik Neighbors,
3.
3.
Kyler Murray,
1.
1.
1. Debo, you put him low.
10.
And then Derrick Rose was 9.
That's a good list.
I like that. That was fun.
Matt's actually cooked up the perfect fucking list.
Cooked up the perfect list, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get better at that. I'm gonna have to get better at that. I like that. I like that segment.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I forgot. I couldn't get on yesterday for Trivia Tuesday, so maybe we can have a little Trivia Thursday or something.
Yeah, we'll do Trivia Thursday tomorrow. Speaking of Thursday, we do have a primetime matchup. Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a banger of a Thursday night game. Last week was the Baltimore Ravens. Last week was the Cincinnati Bengals. And this week, the NFL is bringing it again. I don't know if people expected this early in the season, but it's turned into one of the biggest games of the year. As you look at this NFC playoff, Max, you can see the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles are playing for the division lead tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. Actually, I'm going to pull this back so we can throw that into the clip. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders are playing for the division lead tonight on Thursday Night Football. And Maxie decided we have a mortal lock for this game. Maxie's mortal locks are now 5-1, finally missing on Monday Night Football. But before that, it hasn't even been close. And Maxie decided, hey, another primetime game, another mortal lock. What you got for us, Max, in today's edition of Maxie's Mortal Locks?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the streak comes to an end. That Monday Night Football game was just absolutely atrocious. Not many yards going around anywhere. But today I've got some, for tomorrow, I've got something that's good. And the reasoning might not be what you think. So first of all, this player is Saquon Barkley. I'm taking. In odd weeks of the NFL season this year, let me just read you off his stat lines. Week 1, 132 total yards. Week 3, 156 total yards. Week 5, they had a bye. Week 7, 187 total yards. Week 9, 200 total yards. And it's week 11, baby. I've got Saquon Barkley over 110 rushing and receiving yards. We had a couple breakout games early in the season. He's been doing it all year. This is his game. The Commanders are a bottom 5 run defense, allowing almost 150 yards on the ground. Even if the Commanders are winning the football game, which I don't think. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. So that should be a great game script for Saquon. But even if they're not, Saquon is a great pass catching back as well. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities for him. Big game. Saquon is a big-time player, your number one player in the NFL. So who better to bet on in prime time than Saquon?
It's destiny. It literally tastes like destiny. And we'll see. I like it, Max. I like that.
Where did you pull the odd week stat from?
Hey, don't ask the questions. You can you can ask me that question at the cash counter, baby.
Okay.
I like it.
That's Maxie's Wardle. I love Saquon Barkley. The fact that you somehow pulled that stat, that's why we called you Maxie Stats, because he comes out of nowhere with them. So, all right, Saquon Barkley over 110 passing or rushing and receiving yards is the mortal lock for tomorrow night, and I'm going to sprinkle some good change on that. 5 units. Let's go 5 units on that.
I like it.
All right,
500
units.
5.
I'm not throwing 5 G's on that, dude.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
All right, I think we got some good stuff. Today was a good episode. I would say
Had a lot of fun. Today.
Yeah. That's definitely going to be a staple. The blind rankings. Now we have Max's trivia, and we got the would you rather. So we're going to let BB, that'll be yours, and then I'll start doing the blind rankings. Max can do the trivia, just like that.
There you go. Love it.
I like it.
Yeah,
I mean, BB's probably begging for another blind ranking. That list was.
I might need another blind ranking tomorrow.
Yeah. But he has Josh Downs top 5 all time.
He was at number 8. Dude, I didn't know prime Derrick Rose was getting pulled out.
I knew you were gonna leave a banger for the last one, dude. I knew it.
Yeah, bro. Prime Derrick Rose was actually insane, dude.
Unreal.
Oh yeah.
Can't stop him.
Nope.
Prime lasted what, like just a couple years, right? I mean,
a month,
pretty quick.
1 month.
I think it's him and stretch of 3 games or something.
Him and Jeremy Lin had the same prime.
Jeremy Lin had 3 good games and got a signature shoe.
I have a Jeremy Lin Knicks jersey shirt.
Jesus,
he's crazy. He's crazy.
Insanity,
something that we got a little for our one viewer out there. I believe it's Caden. We're gonna leave you on a cliffhanger. There could be a 4, 5, 6, 7. There could be a 7-way tie for the second seed in the SEC for the championship. We're gonna dive into the tiebreakers tomorrow.
Dude.
A 7-way tie is possible for the second seed.
That's insane.
He get a little clickbait.
That's literally all YouTubers do is
bro, that shit is so funny, man. BB's got it down. Anytime you drop something, anytime I drop something crazy, I always make sure to
yeah.
She has cherry flavor.
Oh, that is hilarious.
No, I'm not kidding. If you go to Allier's YouTube channel, he has like 3 different faces that he uses, and they're all.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
They flood the huge red arrows all over the thumbnail.
We got to come up with the unlocked clickbait. I was thinking maybe something like.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
Sorry, Mike, if you're watching this. My bad.
All right.
Who?
Let's
He works for Rogue.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Our show's back there calling this out. All right, guys. We got guys on the couch kicking the seat around.
That's good.
All right, on
We all ready. Yeah, all right. Okay, it's getting weird.
All right, this is the very last episode of Unlocked with the boys. Thank you guys.
But I really got a good 3 weeks. Good 3 weeks.
All right, put the fist up. Today's message is never forget why you started. Why are you here? When it's hard, when it's tough, when you're in the middle of that grind, you're in the middle of the tunnel, you don't even see the light on the other side, but it's there. Keep freaking grinding. Why did you sign up? It was never going to be easy. And I hope that we can adopt that mindset this week. What is your driver? What is the edge that is going to get you over? Keep fighting for everything you believe in. Hopefully, somehow, some way, we're able to make you smile today. And I hope that you're able to go out and do the same for the people in your life as well. Appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Banger of an episode. Tick, tick, tick.
Ooh.
Goodbye.